We've just hit 2:31, so I'd just like to welcome you to the Meet Britain's Makers virtual networking event for the Black Country, Staffordshire and Shropshire. Before we get started today, I just wanted to share with you a short video about the Made Futures exhibition. So all of the guys who are on the panel today have a stand at the exhibition. So you can view their stand afterwards and speak to a member of their team. Maybe you have some questions for them, or would you like to inquire about any job vacancies there? So I have a short video created by our Managing Director, Charles Addison. So I'm going to share my screen now, show you guys this short video, and then we can crack on with the event today. So if you do have any issues with logging in as well to the virtual exhibition, you can email us at events@madeingroup.com. So that's events@madeingroup.com. Okay. I'll just pop this on the big screen and play that for you.
Hi, I'm Charles Addison, Managing Director of Made in the Midlands and Made in Yorkshire. And thanks very much for registering and attending the Made Futures Virtual Careers Week. The session you're on at the moment will be one of the breakout events in the regions where you'll get a chance to listen into some of the employers in your area who are taking people on, understand why a career in manufacturing engineering is a great one, and the opportunity to sit in breakout rooms and network work with them afterwards. There's one event each day like this, so I encourage you to register for the ones that are relevant to your geography, but definitely check out the wider elements of the Made Futures, because the actual virtual exhibition hall is the key part of this in terms of being able to contact and speak with the other employers. You'll do so by visiting madefutures.com and clicking the login button in the bottom hand of the corner where you put in the email address and password that we've sent you. Which will give you access to the virtual careers hall itself and the lobby area. You click visit the expo, and that opens up the live exhibition hall. So quickly navigating around, the skills hall is going to give you some exhibition standards from the local skills providers in your area through apprenticeships to colleges and universities. The Made Futures book is a downloadable 120-page book as a prospectus of all the firms who are engaged in this event. Feel free to contact and engage with my colleagues on the Made help desk in terms of the live chat, and jobs board takes you back to where we've just come from, the Made Futures jobs board. The careers hall is really the key takeaway part of this exhibition. I encourage you to go and visit the stands after this call, especially the ones who are on your panel, because this is where they will direct you to. So you can search by sector, by accreditation, by what a company buys and sells, and you can scroll through employees accordingly. My advice is to click on as many as you can and interact with them, because all of these businesses are hiring at the moment. So we can load up the exhibition standards as follows. We can interact and understand what the company does and watch the personal greeting of the managing director and understand more about the business. We can download maybe a brochure and some stuff right here about looking for application engineers to join the team. So you actually have job descriptions. And then to engage with the person on the stand, simply click the live chat, and you can say something like, "Hi, Joanna, I am interested in a career with your business." Joanna will then get this through as a live notification and can chat with you real time, or if she's on an additional chat, she'll get a notification of the message. She has your contact information. Crucially, visit as many stands as you can, because each of the exhibitors will get a report of the job seekers who have attended them. And I've seen most of them have been emailing out to people asking for further information and contacting job seekers themselves. So it's an excellent way to progress through. We'll be providing a certificate signed by Lord Whitby of your participation. So I'd encourage you to achieve one of the deliverables on this, which is visiting the different exhibition stands themselves. And also each day there is a special competition where we are hiding a golden banner on one of the exhibition stands in the hall, and it's your job to kind of report to us through social media where the golden banner is on that particular day, and to contact us. As I said, all of these firms are hiring, and the key people for each business are available in the live chat forum. So please make sure you make use of your time this week. When you're going to go through to the fringe events, social events with the panelists, also make sure your video and audio is on, because at the end of the day, this is an opportunity for you to speak and interact with company owners and it's a lot harder to do that if they can't see who you are, where you are. So use your week productively, be as visible as you can, and make the most of this opportunity to speak to employers. Thank you very much for supporting, and thank you very much for our panelists for speaking at this exhibition as well.
Okay, so as Charlie said there, make sure you're heading over to the exhibition, and especially viewing the stands of the panelists here today. You will have an opportunity in this event to network with the panelists individually and let them know who you are, build some rapport and those key relationships with key figures within the manufacturing industry. So I won't keep you any longer, so let's get started with today's event. First of all, I'll just go through the format of our event. So once our panelists have introduced themselves and their businesses, we'll go to the panel discussion where I'll ask our experts a series of questions related to working in manufacturing within the Black Country, Shropshire and Staffordshire region. We'll then go to breakout rooms where you can speak to the employers directly, as I just mentioned a moment ago. So, like I said earlier, we have a star-studded lineup of manufacturers and training providers from the Black Country, Shropshire and Staffordshire region today. We have representatives from companies and organisations such as Three-Way Pressings, Dudley College, Bristol, Laser Process and Boramat. So let's hear from our panelists here today. So Martin, please can you introduce yourself and your business?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon everyone. Thanks for coming along. My name's Martin Smith and I'm CEO of the Bristol Group. We're a group of companies based near Stafford, operating in engineering and manufacturing fields. And across those companies, we employ around 450 people at the moment. And this year we'll have sales over 50 million. The two largest businesses in our group are Bristol Systems and Alpha Manufacturing. Bristol Systems converts vans for fleet users such as BT Openreach, the AA, National Grid, many more household names. Our conversions install racking, roof equipment, signage, electronics, lighting, everything the end user needs. So vehicles will arrive with us from the manufacturer and go directly to the end user. Alpha Manufacturing is one of the most advanced sheet metal fabricators in the UK. We're very much an investment-led business, serving industries as diverse as cloud storage, power generation, surgical equipment. Again, you name it, we're making it. We're a really ambitious and rapidly growing group of companies, and as such, we're constantly recruiting at all levels throughout the business. We run benchmark apprenticeship schemes, and we're currently in the process of recruiting this year's intake of 22 to 25 apprentices. It's still not too late to apply if that's something that interests you. But beyond the apprenticeships, we're always looking for bright, ambitious people to fill roles from production leaders to members of sales and marketing teams, design engineers, graphic designers, the list goes on and on. At the moment, we've got a number of live vacancies across the businesses, and you can find out more about those and about what the businesses do through our virtual stands here, both for Bristol Systems and for Alpha Manufacturing. It's great having the opportunity to speak to you all today, and I very much hope you find the session useful. Thanks.
Great, thank you for that, Martin. And Nick, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lovely to see you all. I am not an employer, but I work with lots of employers. I'm Head of Employer Engagement at Dudley College of Technology. We've been delivering technical education since 1862. We're the largest college provider of apprenticeships in the region. We currently have about 2,500 apprentices. We work with over 2,000 employers. We're one of the largest apprenticeship providers in the Midlands, but of course we also provide technical education through full-time and part-time routes, short courses. We also are one of the first colleges to offer T-levels, which are, if you like, the technical equivalent of the A-level, launched in September last year. If you try and visit our stand, you'll find there isn't one, because we're very excited, because we are currently in the process of building the Black Country and Marches Institute of Technology in collaboration with a number of partners. So if you know Dudley, go to Castle Gate, go to the big cinema down the road. On the left, there's a great big building that's been shooting up during lockdown, and it opens in September 2021, and we'll be offering degree level apprenticeships up to master's degree level, ultimately, in a wide range of areas, but the overarching sectors would be advanced manufacturing, modern methods of construction, very exciting medical engineering, and also a sort of overarching digital offer. So that's open to students in September 2021. So I'm really here to talk about apprenticeships, the benefits of apprenticeships, how you get an apprenticeship, and the college offers a full matching service for people who want to be apprentices. So hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to some of you about that later. Thank you.
Great, thank you for that, Nick. And as Dudley doesn't have a stand at the virtual exhibition, you can contact them through their Made in the Midlands microsite. So if you go to madeinthemidlands.com and search Dudley College in the directory, then you can contact them from there. So
if you go to the Black Country Marches stand, which is there, you'll get us that way too.
Ah, great. So Black Country and Marches
stand.
stand.
Black Country Marches Institute of Technology stand is there.
Perfect. Cheers for that, Nick. And Phil, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. Phil Stanley, TWP Manufacturing. I'm one of the directors, but also one of the founders of Freeway. So we're currently 25 years old, and we virtually started in the corner with one machine. We're now up to 46 people, and very, very diverse in what we manufacture. So we manufacture press components up to 250 tons for virtually every sector in the market, whether it be white goods, automotive, Jaguar Land Rover, for instance, BMW, Volvo. So we're very unique in the market where we are. We also do injection molding as well. So we've got 24 injection molding machines up to 240 tons. And again, we mold a lot of products for various industries as well. Amongst that, we do a lot of fabrication, welding and tube manipulation, which has come into the business. So there's a lot of fabrication, welding, manipulation there as well. So it's very diverse in that sense. We also own a company called Wheelbarrow Products, where we manufacture 60 different wheelbarrows. And the idea of that is a few years ago, Belgium went bust, so we bought it up. And what we're doing now is a pick and mix for customers. And we deal with about 25 garden centres where we do drop ship, and about 250 garden centres throughout the UK. 2 years ago, we set up our own CNC shop. And we started with one CNC milling machine in the corner. Now we have 11, sorry. So we've now just purchased our last sliding head machine. So we've got 3 sliding heads, and we manufacture parts for virtually every vehicle and every sector in the market. So for instance, one of the parts we do is the Lotus gear shift lever on the car. We manufacture all that here apart from the casting. So, we're playing with some very big boys here in the market. Some of our other brands as well is spiral race ground anchors, which is what we designed and built in-house. So we manufacture everything here in-house as well. They're ground anchors, so instead of knocking spikes in the ground, you're able to screw these in, screw them out, and one of our strongest anchors takes up to 1.9 tons to pull out. So it's quite a unique product there as well. So one of the last brands we have is Patterson's Photographic, and even in this modern day, we still manufacture a lot of products to develop films. So we do all the wash tanks, all the developing film tanks. We manufacture over 16 different tripods in our factory here. Also, we manufacture our own lighting for all the darkroom equipment and all the products. And we do direct shelf model, point of sale direct to customer. We export all over the world. We don't just do the UK, we go to America, China, Australia, Europe. So it's very, very diverse. And to be honest, that market's just grown and grown more and more. I think people are becoming more and more interested in developing things rather than just printing things. So for us, it's an incredible market to be in. The other thing we do is we bring a lot of people along. My works manager's been with me for over 25 years. He came to me from Dudley College, ironically, and he's now my works manager. So I think Freeway is one of the most diverse companies you'll ever meet in the country in terms of the variable things we do. I can't tell you what we're going to do next because I never know myself until it turns up. But if we can't do it, no one else can do it in that sort of sense. So we're currently looking for about 4 jobs. We're looking for somebody to come and join us on the automatic power press setting. We're looking for somebody to come and join us in the CNC shop. We currently have 4 people employed in 2 years in that shop there, and I'm looking for somebody else to join the team. And I'm also after a couple of press operators as well as somebody to come and operate the tube benders and then head to do the tube bending. So we've got our stand show. Please come and see it. Please email us. Please get in contact and come and join a great company. My oldest lady's 74, been with me 25 years. So we tend to have a very long standing of people come with us. So welcome apprentices, welcome you. Please come and join us. Thank you.
Great, thanks for that, Phil. And yeah, definitely take a look at three-way press and stand, guys. John D'Angelillo, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining this event. My name is John D'Angelillo. I'm the Managing Director of Breakout. Breakout is a system integrator. System integrator, we pride ourselves in finding solutions for manufacturing problems. We're basically a designer of equipment, bespoke equipment. If a customer has a problem in his manufacturing or he wants to automate his processes, then what we do is we assist in that. We do that in a variety of different areas. We do welding systems, we do polishing systems, we do handling systems. We do a number of different areas that we handle. One of the key things that we pride ourselves on is that we actually ensure that whatever the customer wants to do, that it works. So we try everything out at our facility first. We work together as a business to understand what the problems that the manufacturer is looking at. We then design the equipment. We manufacture the equipment, we project manage it with the customer themselves. We do all the robot programming, the control systems, the PLCs, all the safety aspects. We do all the testing in-house. And once we've done all the testing and the specification that the customer wanted at the beginning, we pass over the equipment to the customer. One of the key areas that we're looking for skills within our own business, and the beauty of our business is it varies. Every single job is different. So there isn't a mundane application. We look at anything from tool making, robot programming, the integration of the robot with the job. So as a business, we allow our staff to grow internally. So for example, we've been in business now for 25 years. We have people who grow from the shop floor as apprentices, as fitters who have actually worked together in putting systems together. That skill of understanding how to put a system together then becomes a commercial skill. So we've now got a sales director who was originally an apprentice of ours, who now sells the solutions to the customer. So what is key and what is important for any manufacturer who's looking for automation is that he has the comfort factor, who he's talking to knows what they are trying to achieve. And that's what we pride ourselves. And we actually at the moment also are looking for staff. We're looking for 3 individuals in various different sectors within the business. And we're more than happy to talk to people after this event or during the breakout rooms on different opportunities. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much for that, John. And finally, can you please introduce yourself, Jonathan Horn? Oh, sorry, Jonathan, I think you're on mute.
There we go, that's better. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jonathan Horn. I'm the MD of Laser Process Fabrications. We're based in Cannock and Staffs. The company's been around for 30 plus years. In fact, one of the very first laser cutting companies in the UK. We've moved on a bit since then. We don't just laser cut these days. We're involved in all sorts of sheet metal work, from laser cutting, forming, bending, fabrication work, assembly. And we also manage subcon, things like paint, different coatings, etc. And we can deliver for customers internationally. So we make stuff for other companies and then we can ship it all around the world for. Turnover of our small group is about 15 million. We've got about 135 people working for us currently. A lot of our work goes into industries like rail, also yellow goods like JCB and CAT. We also supply people like Leyland DAF, JLR, medical devices, wheelchair companies, and lift manufacturers. So it's a diverse range of manufacturers that we do work for. We're currently looking for fabrication people. We have a number of large projects in the offing right now, and we are trying to get hold of skilled individuals is getting harder and harder. Anybody in this industry are all trying to get people from the same pool, it would seem, and it's getting harder to find people that have got the skill sets that we're looking for. I would urge anybody out there to get a look at us and contact us if you are interested in joining us.
Great, thank you for that, John. So we'll now move on to the questions, guys. Hopefully you now have a good idea of who all of these people are on our panel today. I definitely recommend for you to take notes in this next section and take away the advice and expertise from these people who've been working in the industry for a long time and understand all the ins and outs of manufacturing, essentially. So my first question today is for Martin, if that's okay. And what I'd like to ask Martin is, what skills do you believe the industry is looking for, particularly within the sector Bry stores within?
There's no immediately quick answer to that. There's lots and lots of skills we're looking for, but I think probably at two ends of the spectrum. Firstly, the pace of technology is accelerating all the time in what we do. We're doing much more automated manufacturing, but also a lot of the systems in the business are becoming much more based around business operating systems. So kind of at every level of the business, we're looking at literacy and a kind of intuition with IT and software systems. It's just becoming more and more an important part of the process. And I think beyond that, something that will never go out of fashion is just a really solid engineering base. Great engineers will always be bedrock of our business. So design engineer level, process engineers, product engineering guys, new product introduction, just having some really good, solid, basic understanding of the fundamentals of engineering is probably the most important asset we're looking for.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Thank you for that, Martin. And Nick, as an education provider, how can people break into the industry to develop a career in manufacturing?
Well, one of the things that I find we have a team within the college called the Employment Hub, and their specific job is to recruit apprentices for employers. And we have, if you go to if you contact us, we have a number of vacancies at the moment. And I was just thinking, Fab and Weld, always very popular. Entry-level apprenticeships, always very popular. But the thing that employers always talk to us about is about attitude more than anything else, if I'm honest. And we did something 2 summers ago as an experiment, and I'll tell you the story because we did it again last year during lockdown. We recruited a load of school leavers, 32 of them, in the summer of 2019, and we brought them into college in the summer. We put them in a nice uniform, we gave them boots, we put them kits, and then we put them in the workshops. We have an advanced manufacturing centre which was built about 5 years ago. We started them with hand tools, then we moved them onto machines, and we gave them a level 1 introduction to engineering. And then at the end of the 4 weeks, I invited a load of MDs in. So very much like the gentleman here, they built their businesses themselves. They started, in many cases, as apprentices. I love the story about your works manager, who was one of ours a long time ago. And I remember it because the car park was full of very nice cars, I have to say, which impressed all of the learners. And all these MDs just went in the workshop and talked to the learners, and out of 32, 28 were taken on as apprentices, which was amazing. But one of the things that the employers were most interested in were things like, did they turn up on time every morning? Engineering companies start early, so all of these trainees had to be dressed ready to go 8 a.m. in the morning, and then they talked to their tutors about their work and their attitude and their general approach to what they were doing. So as an entry-level person, if you're thinking of getting an apprentice, I think those skills apply, those attitudes apply, but I also think they apply at every stage of your career as it happens.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that's been repeated throughout these events, is the enthusiasm and a willingness to learn, and good etiquette, just showing up on time is really important, and it is within any job role really, but that's the first stepping stone to ensuring that you're going to be a good employee essentially. So thank you for that, Nick. Next, my question is for Phil. So Phil, how can an applicant stand out from the hundreds of CVs, especially for 3A pressings?
I think the biggest one is researching the company. Find out what that company does. See, just get under their skin a little bit. The biggest thing that can impress me is when some young person comes to my office, sits there, looks at me, and can engage with me and talk to me and look me in the eyes. And that's very important for me. But also coming very smartly dressed. I remember doing a review at one of the colleges in Derby. And people came in raincoats and all sorts and everything else. And there were 20 directors there, listening to these young people doing presentations. And people kept their coats on. So it's very important to impress the employer, and the one thing I'll say is don't be afraid, because we were in that position as well. Me as an apprentice, as a toolmaker, I won't tell you how many years ago, I was on the YTS scheme, and I wanted to go and do an apprenticeship in engineering, and I wasn't quite sure what part of engineering, so I decided to do tool making. And I think Chris Marney told my father, "You'll never be out of a job, but you'll never be a rich man." And so I think that made me more determined than ever, to be honest. But also, as I walked around the factory, Harry Wooding said to me, "Phil, what are you going to do for me, and how are you going to do something different for me?" And as I walked around the factory, I saw he had these massive tool racks covered in tools. And I said, "Harry, in 6 months' time, I'm going to clear that rack for you so you can put some machines there, which earn you some money." And hey ho, it took me 8 months, but that's what it was. But I think the thing that Harry liked about me was my attitude, my aptitude, and my want to learn, my want to ask. And don't be afraid to ask questions. We're expecting young people and people who come into industry of all ages. If you're not sure what you do, we've been doing it for years. Just ask us. It's better to do that. But the main thing, as you said earlier, is drive, commitment. Find out about the company, ask what that company does, and make sure that it's what you want to do with that company, because some companies can give you a very narrow, broad band of what they do, but some companies can give you such a broad spectrum. And I think today is more incredible now than ever, because in my days, I was on a Triac and an Orac machine, and we used to draw pictures to get them to actually work. Nowadays, you're programming from a live computer, downloading that information, and I think engineering now is probably more incredibly advanced than it ever has been. It's allowed the Chinese to catch up with us in the manufacturing process because of CNC machines, CNC wire robotic welding, laser cutting machines. You get 5-axis lasers now. That's something we used to watch on Star Wars when it first came out. So please, please, please research what you want to do. And it's one of those things in engineering, you're either going to love it or you hate it. And within the first month or two, you're going to know whether you want to be an engineer or not. You're going to know whether you're going to be in the office, whether you're going to be on the shop floor, whether you're going to get dirty. 20 minutes before this interview, I was changing a hydraulic hose on a sliding head machine, because it just split. And that's what it's about. It's about adapting and getting involved. And I don't think there's ever any engineer or engineering company who will ever discourage anybody for wanting to ask and to learn. And we want young people to get into this industry, and it's such an incredible place to go now. So please research the company, find out who the people are. Social media is out there now all the time, and if you look at my LinkedIn, look at my tweets, you'll see what we're up to. My wife doesn't ask me what I do. She goes on social media and finds out what I've been up to today, because 9 times out of 10 it's put out there. So please, please, please research the company, get involved. Because by goodness, we want you, and it's a 50-50 process. We want to train you, we want you to train us, and to bring us your abilities and skills to come and join us.
Great, thank you for that, Phil. And that's really interesting, sharing your own experience, because I suppose when you sort of get to the top of the ladder, like where you are, it's good to reflect on where you started, and it's good for these guys as well. So thank you very much for that, Phil.
Yep, Yasmin, I'll just add something to what Phil said about getting under the skin of the company, which I thought was a lovely idea. We did we had a Westfield Cars wanted to recruit some apprentices, and they wanted to do a Dragon's Den. So we set up a Dragon's Den event for them. And one of the learners had gone out, bought a 3D printing machine and had printed a replica of their autonomous vehicle. So he came in and he unveiled it, and they basically just hired him on the spot. They were just so impressed.
That's amazing. That's really great. Yeah, if you get the opportunity like that, you're set out, aren't you? So thanks for that, Nick. So my next question is for John D'Angelillo. So John, what do you think is the best way for a job seeker to approach an employer if they're interested in a role? What do you think the best way is to do that?
I think they've got to show the versatility. I think one of the key things is to show an employer that you're interested in what the business is about, learn about, look at what that company is about before you go to talk to them. I think one of the biggest things on the manufacturing front, and what any prospective employee should look for in manufacturing, is the versatility that you get within it. And you hear the passion that Phil came out with. And although I'm very passionate, I think the passion that Phil comes out with transmits throughout the whole globe. But I too, started as a 16-year-old apprentice, not knowing what to do. And I became an owner of my own company after being on various different boards across working with Japanese companies. So, what I would say is look at manufacturing as the ability to open in a number of different areas. I did an apprenticeship, and then I did electronics when electronics just started going away from valves and just entering into transistors. And that was an awful long time ago. But from that, I then got into sales and marketing, and then I got into being a general manager for an organization, and then I became an MD for a Japanese company working on their board, and then I opened my own business. And now we employ 50 people in various different groups within our business. And I'm saying, if you're looking at manufacturing, look at the ability that manufacturing gives you. Look at the different aspects within manufacturing. It's not just the manufacturing, it's all the sequences around it, all the other elements that manufacturing demands. So, it is a wonderful and an exciting career to walk into. And again, we have people in here that have come in as young people and today are really the cornerstones of our business, where they can talk about providing solutions. And that's what we want to bring to potential employees. We give you the opportunity. Manufacturing is definitely, without doubt, the place to go. And it is what you make out of it. And if you're willing to put in the time, you will get the result. If you expect to get the result, you're not going to get it, and don't join it. So, it's a matter, sometimes you go through the pain, but the pain is rewarding. And you have to sometimes be at the bottom to get to the top. So I assure you all, give it a go. And Boramat, like any other companies within this area, are open to give anybody who's keen to work the ability to grow. And that's what we're looking for.
Great, thank you for that, John. And Jonathan Horn, my question to you is, why do you believe manufacturing makes for a good career? In comparison to maybe other sectors, why is manufacturing a good place for a career?
I think making stuff is a peculiar thing to a lot of people. But I was looking at, I'm sure we've all seen over the last few weeks the Mars lander and its little trails around Mars. I was looking at that the other day and I was thinking, we haven't made anything for that, unfortunately. But I was looking at it thinking, it would be so great if something we'd made was on that thing that's up there in Mars right now.
Yeah.
And there's an enthusiasm that comes with making things. If you look at Formula One cars, 90% of them are made in the UK. If you look at things that during this pandemic, we were involved with making parts for the ventilators to McLaren and eventually on to Penlon. Making things is different. It's not it's not a mundane, boring type of profession. There's a lot of different avenues that you can take. Going back to something Nick said a minute ago, enthusiasm is huge in most people that are involved in making stuff. And this country is very good at making things and has been for many years, since the Industrial Revolution indeed. Within manufacturing, as one of my colleagues here just said a second ago, there's lots of other avenues that you can explore. You know, you don't have to just be involved on the engineering side. There are other facets to business that support manufacturing within these companies. So there's a lot going on in manufacturing companies, apart from just making things. Although for me, that's the best bit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one of the things, isn't it? Is that one of our speakers at the Back in Britain event, they said that everything's made. Absolutely everything is made. And if you could be a part of that, you can literally see the actual, you know, materialization of what your hard work's gone towards. So that's one of the major things of being part of manufacturing.
Yes, and I'm a bit of a petrol head, and we kind of sponsor the University of Wolverhampton's Formula 3 race team, and we make bits for their car, which is our part of the sponsorship. There's nothing better for me than watching at a racetrack, seeing that car going around and coming first, winning trophies, knowing that we had input into it.
Yeah, most definitely. And I can imagine that's, you know, it feels like a massive achievement. So thank you to all of our panelists here today for answering those questions and just giving a bit more insight to our job seekers and manufacturers here today. We're now going to move out into the breakout room. So we're at 3:07 and we've got 5 breakout rooms to get through. So we're due to finish at around 20 to 4, but please stick around so that you can speak to all of our panelists here today. But I would like to give a massive thank you to the panelists for joining us, taking their time out in their busy days to join us and speak to you guys today. So thank you for that. However, my colleague Annetta now will take you into the breakout room so that you can talk with these guys a bit more personally. So thank you very much. Great, so welcome back everybody. Hopefully you benefited from those networking sessions there with our panelists today. And again, I'd just like to thank you all for joining us and to all the panelists for speaking today and sharing your expertise. I think it's a really unique opportunity for you to speak to multiple key figures within the manufacturing sector. So I really do hope you got some value out of today. So we have 2 more events tomorrow, 2 more Meet Britain's Makers events. Unfortunately, our masterclasses have ended now. We had our last one today, digital competencies. But if you have missed any events from throughout this week, you can watch them all back on our YouTube channel, Made in Group TV, and the playlist is called Made Futures 2021. So have a look back at them. If you've only attended one event this week and you still want that employability certificate, you do need to attend 2 of them. However, you have the opportunity to watch one of the videos back and fill in the questionnaire in the video description so that you can get that employability certificate. In addition to that, was the Golden Banner competition is still running, so make sure to have a look around the stands at the exhibition, find the Golden Banner and get the opportunity to win a bottle of wine or a Moleskine smart book. All you need to do is post the Golden Banner to your socials and tag us along with the hashtag Made Futures and hashtag 1K Jobs Challenge. But we are almost at 3:40 now, so I'd like to wrap up there. Thank you again all for joining us, and good luck at finding your next role in manufacturing, and good luck at looking around the exhibition tomorrow, the last day of the Made Futures exhibition. So thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.